Next is next category is characters, and
Oh, we're gonna end on story.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. That
Oh
makes
yeah.
sense. That makes almost sense. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We're building up. We're building up. So we're just getting the gameplay and presentation out of the way, but we're going to characters. Building up. So, anyways, characters. Um, this is a Naughty Dog's forte, right? Or one of Naughty Dog's forte is voice acting and characters and character development, and just like all the Uncharted games and the first Last of Us game, I thought the performance for every character was believable, likable. I don't know, it's just like Oscar worthy performance. And again, Troy Baker doing his thing, and but Ashley Johnson, who plays as Ellie, and she gets the spotlight. She did a fantastic job of setting the tone for Ellie, because comparing to Ellie in the first game and then going to this game, you can feel and see the difference of the tone that Ashley Johnson was trying to give for Ellie.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I applaud her for that. And also, like, all the new characters, like a lot of people don't like Abby, but I actually like Abby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
I like her character. It just feels believable. Um, yeah,
Some of this is gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say some of this is probably we're probably gonna cover in the story.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
Um, was there any characters you feel misplaced? And that's a big question
I'll
because
tell
that's
you who I.
very.
I'll tell you who I hate.
Yeah, I think I'm on you. I'm with you on this
Wait,
one.
I don't know, but it's not Jesse. If you're gonna say Jesse,
No, 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 it's not.
it's Hatman
Hatman.
from
Jordan?
the.
Oh,
Wait, who?
this the
Is that
guy
his
who
name? The guy
has a
who
scar.
he was the guy in the he was in the beginning. Ellie like hit
What
him or like smacked him,
was his name?
Yeah,
Jordan or?
I don't know, but he's the one who like tries to kill Dina, right? And then you have to
yeah,
stab him as Ellie. I don't know.
yeah.
I hated his fucking face.
Yeah.
And then he was the one in the he was just playing his Vita or whatever when you first start off as Abby. You talk to him,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and he's just really
Oh yeah,
snarky and stuff.
that's
I don't like
Jordan.
his
Okay.
attitude.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't like his
yeah,
attitude. I was like, fuck this guy.
yeah. Okay.
I was
Okay.
like, I can't wait to kill him. I don't know.
um,
I thought they were gonna say Mel.
Oh,
fuck her too.
fuck Mel.
Fuck Mel
Man,
too.
are you serious? Man, she was such a bitch to
To
Abby,
Abby.
and like within reason, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the part where like I don't want to get too far in the story, but like timeline wise, did Abby and Owen have sex while Mel was pregnant, or did that happen before?
Um,
That part was a little blurry to me.
the one in the boat scene, or
Yeah, yeah.
that?
Oh, that was after. Yeah.
Oh, like after she got pregnant?
Because she went
Yeah.
looking for
Oh, that's
she went
right.
looking for Owen because he was
He
like
killed
banished
Yeah,
someone.
from
yeah, that was
yeah
yeah, that was
because Isaac was
after.
mad.
Yep, yep. Because when you leave to go get medicine for Yara, Owen wanted to talk to you about last night, and when you come back with the medicine, Mel is there.
Yeah. Okay, so then I was gonna say yeah. So like within reason,
Yeah.
True.
Mel, but like also just annoying and
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Um. Yeah. Is that the same thing for you, Francis? With same characters?
Yeah. Um. Wait, Kendall, you don't like Jesse?
No, Jesse's fine.
Okay, I was gonna say. I was like,
I
yeah, Jesse was cool.
at first his voice threw me off
Yeah.
because I was like, I've never seen an Asian guy sound like that.
Glenn? How about Glenn for Walking Dead?
I was like,
No, but
I was like, did they mix up the characters?
yeah.
There might be a bug. But no, Jesse was cool, and like, I just knew he was gonna die.
I
Like,
didn't expect it, man.
I didn't expect how it would happen, but I was like,
True.
he's gonna die. There's no way this dude's gonna stick around. Because I was like, if
He's too
I'm Ellie
good.
and I love Dina now, what's the point of keeping him around?
Damn.
Man, fuck Jesse. That dude left me to be solo. He's like, I'm gonna go for Tommy. I'm like, you're gonna make me go solo with all these guys? Like, oh, son of a bitch. Fuck that dude.
I think Tommy. Y'all thought Tommy died, right? I thought Tommy died.
I didn't. Oh wait, whoa.
Oh, yeah,
When he got
sorry,
shot.
sorry.
When he got
Was that
shot.
so?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when he got shot, I thought he died.
Yeah, I thought he died. Yeah, I thought. Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
Um. the reason why I ask about if you guys felt any of the characters are misplaced, I think this was very. I think this is the first part where it gets polarizing for the gamers who played the game, and they try to compare the Joel with the Luke Skywalker from the Last Jedi or
Yeah,
Daenerys for season 8 or whatever,
man.
and yeah, they said it was a plot hole, but you know I don't think. I don't know. I think people need to replay or rewatch that scene because fans, you know about the plot hole, or I guess they say it's a plot hole. I don't think it's a plot
Where
hole.
he lets his
What?
guard down.
Yes, yes,
Oh, okay. I saw Cookies yesterday say that or
yeah, and
on the
I
stream.
thought
I
it
was
was
like,
just
what?
yeah,
Tommy's the one who gave his name away.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because right before they were even in there, Abby doesn't know who these guys are, and then Tommy goes, "Joel, let's go." Or like,
hmm
"I'm Tommy, that's Joel. Let's."
He did it twice.
yeah.
Fucking Tommy, dude. Keep your
So
mouth shut, Tommy.
yeah, I thought it was just one of our viewers that just said felt out of place, and then I saw the other reviews from other people, and they were saying the same thing, and I really didn't see Joel being I don't know. I didn't see him misplaced at all because yeah, I understand that, huge change from the first game and second game, but you have to understand that those like Naughty Dog gave you the details already. Like um it wasn't said, it was like out there for you to see what's going on in the intro, and you see those 4 years, you see Joel and Tommy made a settlement, and it's huge. And I think they said like 2,000 people already. It's in there, and all they do every day is clear out runners, clickers, and the scavenge. And I assume that if they find like any human being that's there, they try to convince them to go to their settlement. That's why it's like
Yeah,
2,000 big. So
Tommy even invited them.
yeah, and yeah, so I'm pretty sure, and not only that, like once you're Abby and you run into Tommy and Joel, they're like, okay, we need to stick together to if we want to get out of this blizzard. So, and when they were running off with the horses, Abby said like, I know a safe place. I have a crew over there,
yeah,
and yeah, so I guess that trust from Joel, those 4 years of changing himself to trusting other people, of recruiting people to your settlement, and I said at the same time when you find this random girl, she saved you, she helped you go through his blizzard, and yeah, I understand that Joel is a little different, letting his guard down, and people are acting like he went 0 to 100. He went from Luke Skywalker status, and I'm like, I don't believe it at all. And
Yeah.
Tommy wanted to leave right away, and yeah, Joel
I mean,
said
this is
like,
yeah.
you guys should
I
come
was
with
gonna
us.
say.
We have a big town over there, and yeah,
I was gonna say this is we'll probably hit more on this in the story, but what I will say is like a plot hole does not mean like a plot hole is not something that you're like people are saying it's plot holes, but it's like no, you just have this idea of a character
Yeah.
and that's not what the writers thought the character should be. And
Mm.
like you can't really criticize that. That's not a plot hole. A plot hole is
Mhm.
like this one thing happened and you can't explain it.
hmm
Like it doesn't make no sense.
yeah,
Like if someone left a sword behind and they somehow ended up with the sword again later, that's a plot hole. There's
Yeah.
no explanation for it.
yeah,
It is safe to imagine that like what you're saying, like Joel changed in those 4 years, and like if they're not fighting people, they're not fighting the wolves daily. They don't know, right? Like
yeah,
it's safe to assume that like these people are safe and we're gonna take them back. And I don't know. Like I will also say that like I wonder if Ellie's like her whole situation with Joel affected him as well,
Mm.
in terms of who he is as a person now,
hmm
because he definitely you could tell was impacted by it. And like at the last, I mean, the last, we'll get to it, but like the last scene of the game, like last cutscene where he's like tearing up, like
Mhm.
hmm
you don't see Joel like that.
no,
So I don't know. I think I don't know. I think there's a lot of people who are mad at the game because they just for the fact that they killed Joel or killed Joel like that. But like to me, that's some of the best things in any form of media is when they go the unexpected route.
Mhm.
yeah,
Because if this was something and like Joel just died at the end of the game sacrificing himself, I
Yeah.
would have been upset
Yeah.
because I've been like, it's predictable. Like it's the same old thing that we've always seen in these
Yeah.
types of
That's
Survivor
what I
games.
thought, and I'm like, oh yeah. When they announced part two, I'm like, how is this gonna work? I guess I have a feeling Joel's gonna die at the end, at the very end or something.
Yeah, and I'm glad they didn't. But
Mm-hmm.
while we're still on characters, I think we all probably want to move on to story, huh?
Yeah.
But characters, I will say Yara and Lev are super tight. Like
Yeah.
Dude, they're
I liked Lev so much.
Lev was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Lev was
Aang.
Mulan.
Yes.
Aang and his story is Mulan though. I was like, oh shit,
Mm-hmm.
doing like opposite of the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically trying to be like the man, like the men, but then the men are like, what the hell?
Okay.
But he's like,
Yeah,
you know,
and
he was dope.
I like that their inclusion of like LGBTQ characters
Mhm.
wasn't like it didn't feel
Of
like
course.
tacky. It didn't feel
Yeah.
like tacky or like we're just doing this to appease
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
like that community, right? It was like those things were like truly a part of their identities, right? Like
Mhm.
with Lev, like that was the whole backstory. Like it's not there for because like, like for no reason.
Yeah.
Like like and that's a really real thing. What I will say is like the scars and like how the fact that like their mom's super religious and that's why the mom would literally fucking kill Lev instead of loving him.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Like that's a real thing that happens in the real world, right? Like people who are super religious don't agree with some of those things. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked how they did that.
Yeah, it was smooth.
Yeah. Here we go. Story. Last category. This is where everyone divides. And so this story is very emotional and very complex, and um it has a lot of ups and downs throughout the whole game. Um in terms of pacing, for me, I thought the beginning was very slow when I'm compared to the first game. First game, you just like I'm in it, I'm already in, and I'm already hooked. In the
It
first
was like
game,
the first hour was like I was like all I got to do was throw snowballs and play the guitar.
yes, yes. Yeah, this in part two, the intro was very slow. I get what Naughty Dog's trying to do, but yeah, in my head, I'm just thinking like, when does it start to get good, right? And I'm already in day one Seattle. I'm in awe with everything in Seattle day one already, but I'm still wondering when can I do some cool stuff. And then you get to fight um like the intro to clickers, intro to runners or whatever, and I'm like, that was it, just two in one space. That's easy. I did it without any alerts. And I'm like, is this gonna be throughout the whole game? This is way too easy. Um, but yeah, we're just gonna break it down. So that's we're gonna break it down in sections. So starting from the beginning of the game. So that's my take on the beginning. It started slow for me.
Is
So
beginning just before Seattle? Is that what you're?
I guess up to day one, or up to at the end of day one Seattle. I guess I'm trying to remember.
Maybe we should do it like yeah,
By
okay. Let's just do 2 day one Seattle up until day one Seattle
okay,
because
up
there's a lot
into
that happens. They killed Joel in the first
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
first part. It felt a little slow, but like also felt like a move. Like I wasn't complaining that much actually.
Oh
I
no,
was just
yeah,
like,
yeah,
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 I wish I would. I was like, I wish I could do more, but also
yeah.
like I don't mind just watching.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
If we
More
were
like
just like if we
immersed.
were just riding horses with Joel and that was the whole hour, I would have been more upset, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
just doing nothing. But like, getting to meet all the characters
Mm-hmm.
was cool. Like I think the first person you meet is actually Jesse, right? He knocks
Yeah.
on the door.
Oh yeah.
You go with him. Um, I like that you meet Dina and you can tell that there's like something going on. I think Jesse even mentioned it, right? That
Yeah.
Dina and Ellie had a kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was confused when I started playing as Abby at first because
Yeah.
I was like, "Huh, what is going on? Who is this
Mm.
person?"
Yes.
But I had a lot of questions. I was like, "Man, I hope I'm not playing as this person for no reason."
Mm-hmm.
I did think for a quick second, I was like, maybe they're just gonna teach me how to play against the infected, and I'm just gonna die, and that's gonna be it. That's gonna be all we
Yeah.
hear from this character.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but man, that like, I thought they tied the things together pretty cleanly.
Same.
Like
It
I
was
wasn't
like
mad at it. Like um like going between the two like Ellie and Abby in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they tied it together pretty well, and um, I'll let you talk before we go into maybe about what happened at the into
Um,
Joel's death. Let's because
Oh, okay.
France, you have anything on the beginning or intro? I guess.
Um, yeah, it was a little slow, but yeah, it's just more like not complaining. It was more like kind of just immersed and more interested in the whole story. Like, all right, where we going?
Yeah.
But yeah, getting to know all the characters was pretty nice. Jesse, and right away I was like, this guy's cool. Like, right away, like he
Mm-hmm.
was just troll. Like you can tell, like him and Ellie were like buds.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, and
Um.
it was just damn. It was yeah. Oh wait, yeah. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself.
But yeah, I didn't have any complaints either. The intro, you can just feel how slow it is, but it's not like it's not boring. It's really interesting.
Yeah,
There's things to do. There's a lot of things to do, but yeah, I think it's all with the dialogue that keeps the game interesting, and that's another thing from Naughty Dog. It's really good dialogue,
yeah.
keeps you interested. Um,
Everything, any, other than like battles, but like any dialogue that happened, like you were paying attention to. And I
yeah.
think it's easy in most games to just not pay attention
Hmm.
because you're just like, yeah, I'll just run and gun through everything. But this game, like, it forced you to take your time,
Yeah.
or like you want to take your time.
Yeah, that's what's cool about Naughty Dog games, where like, you're playing through a game, but these little dialogues, it tells a story. These little dialogues, while you're playing, it's telling a story, and it's doing it without doing a cutscene, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, and then we get to, um, oh, first of all, yeah, I had the same thing with Abby, where like I had a lot of questions, like, who am I? And then right when I started learning dodge and doing some MMA shit, I was already in love with her. I was like, this chick's awesome, right? And then the whole Abby thing, dude, my brain just could not like could not put that together. I'm like, wait, what just happened? That shot on Joel's leg, I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know when she said like, you know who I am to him?
Yeah. What about it?
Did you know what she meant by that?
No, I when
I
I
had
she's
didn't
an
expect.
idea. My suspicion was that like she was related to someone that he killed.
oh
Mm.
That's what I had assumed, and it turns out that was right. But like, I don't know because I was like, I don't know what he could have done. I don't think it would just be some random
mm-hmm.
um, person from like the first game that he just killed on the street.
Mm.
I was like, I think it has to be someone who was at the end.
Yeah,
Right, like
I had a
I
feel.
had a feeling it had to be
Yeah,
fireflies.
me too. I had a feeling it's something related to Firefly, but she was acting like, you not know me, like blah blah. Like, I'm like, I don't remember Joel
Yeah.
having any relation except for all of Joel's like um friends from the first game are dead, like Tess and yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um, I mean, what I will say too is like a lot of people had issues with this one scene and couldn't fucking play, which to me is ridiculous. Like, if something you don't like happen, like, do you not want to just keep finding out?
which scene? The
Right.
Joel
Like,
scene?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Like people literally stop playing because they're like Joel's dead now. I have no point.
What?
And I'm
He
just like,
had to go.
yeah. Like I was telling Wonder like, if this game was just Ellie and Joel Part Two, I don't think I would have liked it as much
Right?
because their story was already told. I felt like
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
in the first one, like what else is there to do other than like it's gonna feel like just an expansion,
yeah.
right? If you're just
Yeah.
playing as them killing more different bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
But with this one, like I was like, I don't know, dude. Like you've definitely felt it when Joel died. You
Too.
Oh
fucking
yeah.
felt that shit.
My heart sank.
Dude, I felt the same right when Abby did the last blow to Joel, and that facial expression, it just stuck in my head like all night. What Ellie's face just
Yeah,
screaming
yeah.
no. That dude, that face just was so real, and I'm like, I couldn't sleep. It took a long time for me to sleep just seeing Ellie's face saying no, screaming no, and then she
Yeah.
she was like zoning out everything around her. All she can say is, "I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna fucking kill you," and that's it.
And I will say, like, we'll get to this later, but people also said that, like, um, they complained about the fact that you had to play as Abby because they're like, Abby's this big person. You saw that she just fucking the way she killed Joel and stuff. But like later on, you learn that that's like out of character for her,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. But not an out of character like a plot holy way. But like she she was just so angry and everything, right?
Yeah.
Like you later on, they made you understand that like she and like I said, we'll get to this, but she in the same way like Joel and Ellie had reasons for everything they ever did.
Yeah.
Although I will say, now I think about it, I don't know if Joel had a lot of reasons in like the first game.
What do
like
you mean?
he did, but he killed a lot of people. But like he wasn't necessarily personally, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have a personal vendetta against each individual person he was killing.
Yeah.
Like the way Abby did. Abby like just wanted to kill Joel.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ellie, obviously, she reacted. She wanted to kill everyone to get to Abby. I think if Ellie just found Abby, she wouldn't have killed the other people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
No, she would have killed all of them. I think actually mainly Abby though, but she hated
Oh
all of them.
yeah. She was talking
maybe,
about the wolves a lot.
Yeah.
She was getting through whatever she can just to get to Abby, and she did it.
Yeah. But like I
Yeah.
will say, before you even knew more about the story, like when you start talking with Tommy and or not Tommy, but like Jesse and Dina, and you're like getting ready to leave and you're gonna do this, like I can't lie, like I was hyped. I was like, all right, we're gonna fucking do this. We're gonna go get him back for
Mm-hmm.
Joel's death. So that's why I don't understand why people didn't
I was gonna say the
like
same thing.
people had to put the game away. I was like, you didn't want to avenge his death? I was
Right?
like, I was ready. I was like, I'm gonna fuck up everyone. Like,
Yeah. And I think because when I was thinking of part two, I'm like, how else can they make a really good story, without just doing the same thing? And they just got to grab what everyone loves, and I think that's a really good thing about like storytelling. You got to grab something to take away something that everyone loves, and like um and recoup around that whole idea of taking something that everyone loves, and
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, people's arguing that like you can't just kill. What kind of game just kills off a main character like that? But like newsflash, Joel was a main character number one, but like he's not a main character that says he had to be a main character in the second one.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like kind of the motivation for like the plot, but no, like I don't know. I feel bad for the writers, and maybe they don't feel bad because they knew. I'm sure they knew that there's going to be some sort of reaction like this.
Yeah.
And even Troy Baker had a quote today. He said like, if we have done our job right, people will question everything. I want everyone to be able to challenge their own ideas about what this game is, what this world is, who the characters are, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think that's right. That's the problem, is everyone had this pre-written story in their heads already of what the game should be like. And anything short of that is a failure to them, which is ridiculous. Because like, again, I think you have to experience the game, like to really understand. And we'll get to it because there's so much that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like everyone's treating it like when Negan killed Glenn in Walking Dead. But I don't think that's the same extent. It's had that same feeling of like, dude, but it's more like, shouldn't you be like kind of interested? Like everyone was mad at that episode of Walking Dead because everyone loved Glenn, but kind of draws you into like Negan as a character. Like, holy shit, I gotta see what this guy does. And it's like weird to see everyone just put everything down, uh, just like fuck this game, and like not care for Abby. Like, what? Like, I want to know who this bitch is. I want to kill this bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we can move forward. So I think I put this next section is playing as Ellie, or I guess her side of the story of Ellie, until you reach to the end
Of her until you get to like the theater scene.
yeah. So um so basically her her journey is like some John Wick type of Taken, right? She goes through a lot of obstacle courses just to find Abby. She has a lot of leads, like hearing Tom, because she's trying to find Tommy first because she knows that Tommy's already ahead. and then she ends up going, or I guess Dina found like a system of finding Abby with the map and the radio calls and with numbers and shit. And yeah, she's going like zigzag and sort of in a way going in circles in Seattle, but then ends up another lead with Nora. Uh, she's I guess a
God, that
medic.
scene was brutal.
Yeah, a medic, and yeah,
Fuck
again,
Nora. Oh, I
I
forgot to mention her in characters. Fuck that
yeah.
bitch.
um, but again, Ellie is doing all this, doing whatever she can, either kill or I don't know. She's mostly killing. Just no loose ends. And yeah, when she got to Nora and beat the shit out of her, make her talk and that scene when she goes back to the Paramount there and Dina is comforting her. Yeah, she changed. She You can tell she's changed a lot. Um, it's like this whole life changing thing, this whole journey of going through all this for revenge, and I guess she's trying to think of um I guess the realization of like what she's doing right now is like I'm doing all this for revenge and Joel, and yeah, she's jumping really high cliffs just to do all this. So
Yeah. I mean, you could see the character development, right? Like she's like you could see that she was losing herself too,
mm-hmm,
Mm.
right? Because she was so focused on this one thing that like she didn't really I mean, you could even see in the beginning when she learns that Dina's pregnant and
mm-hmm,
she was like basically just saying like Dina's like a nuisance now. Dina's in the way of like what she's trying to do.
yeah,
Um and like I mean, you feel her pain, right? Like you feel the like I said the desire for revenge. But like man, the game was just so brutal and like I will say I think as you're playing as Ellie though, like up until the end, like the theater scene, um it is rewarding to kill off them one by one, right?
mm-hmm, yeah,
Like it felt good and you felt like you were building towards getting Abby. But I don't know. Like Ellie is a complex character, but like I personally think that Abby was a lot more interesting
Yeah.
because Ellie again, we're just more familiar with Ellie. Like
mm-hmm,
we know enough about her for the first game, and we understood her primary motivation right away. With Abby, there was so much mystery, and like even until like the end, you don't really get a good sense of who she is, like who she really is as a person.
mm-hmm.
Um, but I didn't have a problem with the story during like days 1 through 3 for Ellie. Um, I don't know. I didn't have an issue with it.
Francis, you have any input on Ellie's playthrough?
Ellie's playthrough, yeah, I was just fully immersed in her rage. I was like still with her. I was like, man, fuck all these people. I'm killing all of them. I'm on a mission. I'm killing all of them. Because at the scene where Joel died, man, I didn't care. I was like, I don't care who these people are. Like when I put the game down that night, I was like, I'm going into tomorrow when I hop back onto this game. I don't care who they
Yeah.
are. I'm killing everyone.
Yeah.
And then like yeah, and slowly I started to realize like, damn, okay, Ellie, I think that Nora scene changed.
Yes. The
Maybe a
Nora
little
scene
bit.
was the one where I was like, uh,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
We could
Um.
turn back.
Oh, and the we didn't even talk about it yet, but the Owen and Mel killing,
Yeah,
where
that
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh
Oh,
no,
don't forget
oh no.
Alice. Can't leave out
oh
Alice.
Oh
Alice.
yeah,
Oh
and
yeah.
Ellis. But I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that was
And you can see Ellie was like, I mean, she fucking like threw up, like
yeah, knowing she was pregnant or Mel was pregnant.
yeah, because she wouldn't have wanted that to happen to Dina,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
right? Like I think
Exactly.
that was the parallel she was able to draw, and like, dude, I will say, Ellie, I like Ellie a lot, but you cannot deny that she's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's crazy because the shit that she was doing to like avenge Joel, she it slowly started to turn into Joel, like his savage self,
Yeah.
into just trying to track down Ellie in like the snow level where he
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
interrogates those two dudes.
yep,
She
Exactly.
was that Joel, like, and I don't know, she wanted to be like that, Joel. She definitely still resented Joel, um, and wanted to forgive him, but didn't get the chance. So I think that's why I think she was more like angry at herself
Hmm.
throughout this whole journey and just taking out her rage um, onto other people and just saw Abby as like the scapegoat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think the story gets a lot more interesting after that switch.
Yeah,
Um,
In my opinion, but I don't know if you guys have anything else to talk about for.
for yeah, for Ellie's playthrough, this is not well, it's story slash character related. Um, we run into the most interesting group, and it's by far my number one like scariest enemies in the game. And it's the scars. And yeah, right when my playthrough, all I heard was whistles, and I see the subtitles. I had subtitles on, said whistles, and then when you get near, you get shot through an arrow, and I hear a loud whistle, and this became this is where my high for the game just went. Oh, I want to keep on playing this game. This game is definitely like game of the year worthy because this is totally different. We went from infected to some military people. Now we went to like these smart coordinated people that only communicate through whistles like Rambo, and it was scary. It was scary. These hooded cloaked people, and I don't know. It was like some Resident Evil 4 village type of vibes, and
Yeah,
but at the same time they were really smart, and it's it's tough to go through. Well, my playthrough was tough because if you killed one, someone's gonna alert and whistle the shit out of a rape whistle, and everyone's gonna be drawn into that type of area where I killed someone, and now they're all over the place, um and all I can do is crawl through grass, and yeah,
yeah.
it's just scary. It's really scary, and yeah, I don't know. That's
They were definitely the smartest AI out of all the enemies, I
yeah.
think, because the whole whistling system, when you kill one, another one's gonna whistle to make sure like, hey, you good type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and just make sure like I clear this area. Did you clear that area? And if they don't hear the whistle back, they're like, oh shit. I'm like, damn, I wish more enemies were kind of like that, but doesn't really seem like it.
But there's one at the very end of the game where I killed Nicola or something. I don't know, some random AI, and then the guy was like, "Nicola, with me?" And I already killed him. Like, oh
Oh
shit.
yeah.
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, those I've never faced of all the video games I played. I've never faced a group like that where they are smart. They communicate through whistling and
yeah.
sound, and yeah, I don't know. They are very interesting, and I want to keep on playing. Um,
They, I have a feeling the DLC is probably gonna be focused on them and possibly like Liv.
uh-huh.
Ooh,
That would be really fun, actually.
play as Lev.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be cool to play through like even if it's just a flashback, like the escape,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Lev and Yara trying to get away. Um, but yeah, I would say that was, I'm. It was cool that they introduced them, and the way they introduced them was fucking like the guy was just hanging,
Mm.
Yeah.
and they were slicing him open. Nah, fuck that.
And yeah, they were just an interesting they were like an interesting third party because it was always like a lot of games like these type of pandemic games always infected and military all the time, and this third party is a cult, and they have a I guess they have their own goal that we don't even know, unless they did say their goal in one of the weird messages that I just decide not to read. um Yeah, it's cool that I mean, it's not like they were forced to be in this war. It just felt natural, like, oh my god, I have to juggle these type of groups now. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Um,
I feel her love.
Yeah, yeah. Is there any other memorable moments with Ellie's playthrough? I only know with Scar. That's the only thing that was stuck to my head
Oh,
with Scars. Memorable
I mean, there are
moments?
definitely memorable moments, but I think a lot of the scenes I will say that I thought were really well done was like her scenes with Dina, where like they're just like flirting with each other or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Their
Yeah.
relationship, them fleshing that out was really good.
It was good.
Um,
Yeah.
the when Jesse shows up, that was also cool. Um, I did like that they it was like they had like Last of Us showed like the ability to have like different types of game like fights. Like that, like that was like a railgun game, right? Like when you're in the car.
Oh yeah,
Like
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
like that was really cool. It felt like the old Jurassic Park shoot 'em ups.
yeah,
But
Mm.
yeah.
like to me that was cool that they had something like that. But story wise, like I think there was just so much build up, but like yeah, you're just kind of set on killing everyone. And like I said, I think it starts to get really interesting and complicated when you like to be honest, the game could have if they wanted to, they could have just ended it like you progress through everyone and then you get to the boss,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Abby. But I love that they didn't do that.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, Franz, do you have anything for Ellie before we go the next section?
Um, dude, that Nora chase down scene, man, I was pissed. Like, I wanted her ass. Like, I was like, she said about Joel, like, yeah, that bitch got what he deserved. I was like, oh
Oh
hell no,
yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
was like, I'm
killing
gonna
you.
fuck him up.
And she started running away. Oh hell no. And then we
yeah,
get her. And
yeah,
that was cool. Freaking Ellie. That was 400 IQ plays. She just sacrificed herself, jumped off into the spores.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that scene was oof. That was a tough scene.
Okay, and now right after the theater scene, um, where Abby somehow infiltrated the area and shot Jesse in the face without any warning,
That was
and
crazy.
Man.
then yeah, I got Tommy on the ground pointing the gun, and then it the scene blacks, and then it says 4 years earlier, I believe, or something like that. And now you're playing as Abby as a kid, and then you go through playing as Abby, relationship with her dad, saving a zebra, um, and I don't know. I think, oh, and also yeah, going through that scene, you're also learning that this is also happening during the whole what do you call it, at the end of Last of Us 1, where Joel made it to the hospital at the end, because I believe, I think Owen came out of nowhere saying the Fireflies found the smuggler, and she's
Mhm.
bitten, said like she's been bit 3 weeks ago but she's still immune, and everyone's happy. um and then you find like right when I heard that Abby's dad was a surgeon, I already knew. I'm like, oh
Yep.
no, this is the dude that you had to shoot in the first game, the surgeon you had to shoot. And now I'm thinking like, oh, those other two surgeons were probably Mel and some other, or maybe Nora or something. I don't know. Um.
No, because you can kill them too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, you had to shoot the first guy with a scalpel, and yeah, and it happened. It was Abby's dad, and then she also had it mirrored. A lot of this game has a lot of mirrors, right? And her fire revenge mirrored what Ellie is going for to avenge Joel,
Yep.
and
It's a cycle of revenge.
yeah,
Mm.
Psycho Revenge, and um, yeah, you go through day one Seattle as Abby. I guess you go through day one, day two, day three as Abby. Um, yeah, what is your guys' take on playing as Abby all the way through till you meet Ellie again in the theater, the Paramount Theater?
Dude, I think that and again, my take's gonna be a little different because I stopped playing and I just started watching. Um, but dude, you, I think if gamers make it to the point where they get to play as Abby and you go into it with an open mind, you're going to enjoy it, right? Um, I feel like you just got so much backstory and understood. I think I texted you about this, but your feelings start to get more complicated because you realize that Ellie's killing people that are important to other
Yeah.
people,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like as
Yeah.
much as you were like fuck, like if you're when you're playing as Ellie, it's like I'm just crossing people off a list. Like I
Mhm.
just have a hit list.
Yeah.
But No, and you know how heartbreaking it is when Abby keeps saying that her friends are dead, or like
Mm-hmm.
when she walks into the aquarium
Yeah.
and like, dude, I was like,
Yeah.
no. I was like, man, we're gonna fuck up Ellie. go, go get her. But like, no, like Abby to me is a more interesting character again because like she wasn't on this um I guess she wasn't as exposed to as much violence as a kid as Ellie was.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like Ellie was like followed Joel around while he was murdering everyone. Like Abby's dad was just a surgeon. Like I don't know. I feel like you have to go into this game with some level of empathy
Mm-hmm.
to really understand that like I said, like Joel is not the only Joel in the game. There are so many other people that meant a lot too. Like both Ellie and and Abby are like heroes and villains in their own regard.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Abby is some big villain to Ellie, but to others she's just like they're one of their friends. And um I'm not gonna lie, I think like Abby people are painting Abby as like this big bad villain, and like I don't think that's true. I don't think she's any worse than Ellie or Joel were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you kind of slowly play more and more of Abby, like, or when I did, it was because at first I was playing Ellie, I was like, fuck all these people, I don't care. And then when I got to know Abby a lot more, I was like, okay, maybe, maybe I was wrong about this
Abby.
whole thing. I was like, maybe, because I think once you get to the point, literally right when you get to the point of shooting Jesse in the face out of nowhere and having like pointing the gun at Ellie and stuff. Um but before I got to that point, I was still playing as Abby and I was just thinking back to that scene and was thinking like holy crap, I'm- I think Ellie's the bad guy like she's more so the bad guy than Abby. Like Abby is just doing her thing. Like I think she's just more normal in that aspect of like she's not a bad person. She just literally took out all her rage and was just obsessed with getting revenge for her father. And that was it. She did her goal. She didn't kill anyone like
She let them go.
yeah, she let them go. She let loose ends happen, but Ellie went full savage mode. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I was what was I thinking?
Mm-hmm.
I killed all these people, and then Abby's just doing her thing while not even knowing all her friends are dying. Comes back to realize her like love of her life's dead, and she just realized like, wow, like I I could have prevented all this if I just was more savage.
Dude, like Lev became Abby's like Ellie.
Yeah.
Like if Abby was
Yeah, yeah,
Joel.
yeah.
Like you can see that's what I'm saying. You start to feel Abby because like she's doing all this work to help this person from like the rival like group, right? Like
Yeah.
you don't really know much about Lev at all or Yara. Like and the measures that like I mean I think even Owen questioned it, right? Owen was like, "What are you doing? Like why are you going so far to help them?" And like I feel like that's a testament to like Abby having like a big heart,
Mhm.
and like maybe because her dad isn't around anymore, she doesn't have anyone to give it to, and maybe because Owen, right? Because they broke up and Owen had a kid with Mel,
Mm-hmm.
was having a kid with Mel. Like Abby's running out of people to care for. Um, but again, yeah, like I get why Ellie did what she did. I also get why Abby did what she did. And this is the point where people start to divide on their views of the game. And like I am having trouble understanding how you couldn't at least feel or like understand why Abby did what she did. I'm not saying you have to love playing as Abby because I think we all agree that Abby's section went on too long. Probably
Yeah.
Yeah.
it could have been condensed,
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
especially because you knew what point you were going to get to already.
Uh,
There's just too much build up, but I don't know how people could get to that point and play and not be like, oh, I understand Abby. People are like, no, why would I want to play as Joel's killer?
Yeah, that's
But the whole thing is like you're like the fact that you can only feel compassion for Joel's death,
uh
but not anyone else's death. Like I don't know, it says a lot.
that's a great take because that was my question of my question was did you feel Abby was forced and playing as
Um,
Abby and I guess um going through her life was forced, but no, it was again like what you said is yeah, you had to have an open mind and try to feel for Abby, put yourself in her shoes, and yeah, it's just ridiculous. People felt forced, and that was a negative. A lot of people being divided with this part of the game, and a lot of people did not like that section. They felt really they didn't want to play as Abby. They're like, I want to go back to Ellie.
Man, going back to Spider Man, you think I wanted to play as Mary Jane?
Exactly, exactly.
What the hell's wrong with you? They didn't
Oh
even
my
have a story.
god.
They didn't have a
Um,
story. I just had to sneak around the museum. Like
an hour earlier, I'm like, oh, Mary Jane. Oh, I have to sneak around and duck, and oh, Jesus Christ. Same with
Loser.
Miles. I'm like, oh no.
it's like, are you kidding me? Um, but what I will say, and I thought about this was like, um, this game kind of takes the ESRB ratings to a different context because usually that's because like we don't want to expose kids to like violence or like sex or drugs or whatever. But I actually think that like you have to have gone through enough shit to kind of understand the game, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like you have to have some level of maturity to really grapple with what's going on. Because yeah, like on paper, I would get why people maybe don't like the game or like don't like the story, but like when you watch it all unfold and like I think you guys could probably agree, but like the game makes you feel something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
There's
definitely. Yeah.
no like
definitely.
if you play this game and have no feelings,
You're
man,
psycho.
I can't.
And
I was gonna say, man,
I
something's wrong
don't
with you. Like no feelings at all. Like again, the whole point of the Abby thing was just to make you realize that like you are killing real people, that there should be
Mm,
consequences. And that's something that we don't feel when we're playing video games. I mean, obviously not
very
comparable
true.
story wise, but like we play fucking multiplayer Call of Duty games and like I'm just killing everyone. Like I just like to kill everyone. And like that's okay for those games. But like for a game like this where there's a real story they want to tell, like I don't have an issue with Naughty Dog's decision to make you think differently and
Mhm.
reevaluate things. And I don't think they're trying to shame you. I don't think the point of the game was to say revenge is bad. I don't think it's to say that like violence is bad. I think it's just the thing that they were trying to point out is that there are consequences and like real ramifications to the things we do. And I don't know. I thought they did it really well. And like I said, like you feel for Abby. Um, and I don't know. I didn't feel like her story was some of it was filler. Like I said, I think some of the missions were just too long and time consuming.
yeah.
But the story itself was like it felt important and it felt like it was valuable.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything to add on for that, Francis?
I think Kendall said that like beautifully. That was spot on. I was like, yeah, that I didn't know how to put that in the words. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, like personally, like, cause that's how I went into the game was with that mindset. Was like, not like putting down the game, but it's more like, I'm killing these people. Like, I don't care. I don't care who
Yeah.
you are. And then they actually, I don't know how like they actually flipped it on me, which is like I applaud them for that. It's like wow, they actually showed me the human side of this like so-called villain, who's not really a villain. She's just another person, um, just like Ellie. So it's really nice to see the human side of all these villains, like especially like I mean, it's like literally like the theme of the whole game, like because Lev and Yara, you can see them as scars or whatever. People are
Yeah.
like, oh, they're scars, you can't trust them, but they're people, they're like
Yeah.
they're just good people.
Um
Um,
yeah.
in terms of length of the whole Abby situation, there's a con for me where like I enjoyed every bit of Abby's like playthrough, and there is a point where you felt the drag coming. I think it was
Mm.
day 3, and you felt, or I felt. I'm not sure if you guys felt it. I felt like, oh my god, we're still on this we're Abby situation, and it's the part where Lev takes the boat and goes to the Scar Island. Like we have to.
Oh
In
yeah,
my mind, I'm like, oh no, we have
I
to do
felt it. Yeah,
this. I'm like, oh, I felt dragged. I'm like, I.
I had to take a break.
Yeah, I was
You
like,
know?
dude, I need to take a breather real quick because we have to go through this island against Scars, which I really hate, and we have to go get Lev back, and that part felt dragged, but I still enjoyed that part, but it felt a little overdue or overdone. Um, Other than that, that's the only con I have for Abby's playthrough, but everything else is yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Um, I mean, like I said, I think Neil Druckmann said that there's really supposed to be 5 days for each of them, and that I think would have made the game way too long.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not. Yeah, I think Abby's part went too long, a little bit too long, but not to the point of like I don't want to finish this game, right? Like
Yeah.
you can feel it once you're on day 3. You know how many days it took to get to encounter Abby. So I don't know if I can get closer, but I almost feel like they had to do that island thing just because there would be too many questions about the scars.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know. I feel like they kind of showed it off. Man, that island was like pretty. The environment looked really good. I was like,
Mm.
when it was like fire and everything, and like it looked crazy.
Was that the Alki Beach Island?
It's not Alki Beach. I saw you say that.
I swear. What else is across Seattle though? What islands across Seattle? Is that be like what, Squim?
Squim's like really far away.
Squim? But why is the Space Needle over there, by the way? The
Yeah,
Scars took the Space
so
Needle
weird.
and
They moved it. They move it over here. Man, how did you feel when you had to fight Ellie?
Dude.
Oh man. So I was fighting myself. If you guys saw, like,
I heard you. You were like, Ellie, it's me.
it's
Yeah.
me.
It's just
It's me. But then I'm like, fuck you, Ellie. Fuck you. I'm like, oh no, but it's me though.
Dude, I saw her put down the trap.
Dude,
Oh
I
yeah.
I was like, no way. And you could hear her like crafting. You
Uh-huh.
can hear her like rummaging through stuff. I was like, no way. She's actually playing like we do.
Yeah, I'm like, oh fuck you, and but like I like you, but like you're also horrible, and I'm like, I'm horrible. I'm like, oh no. But yeah, that boss dude. Before we meet Ellie at the boss fight, I only died twice, and through like bullshit that I shouldn't have done because I made
Dude,
poor
I died
decisions.
3 times in the beginning when you're playing as Abby because I kept jumping off a ledge. I was like, how do I get down from here? Do I just jump?
But yeah, the Ellie boss battle, it yeah, that one was actually tough because there's times where like I tried to outsmart her, but then she was fucking fast. She was fast. She was smart.
Dude, the way she runs too.
Yeah,
Dude.
I'm like,
So different than the other characters.
I was like, I played as Ellie. I didn't move that fast, but it was definitely something from Uncharted 1 where you played or you fought against who's that guy, Francis? The dude that tried to rape Ellie.
I mean, Last of Us one.
Yeah, Last of Us 1, the first game.
Oh, you said it.
Oh, sorry, I
I
said
forgot
Uncharted.
his
My bad.
name, but Nolan North. I forgot his.
Yeah,
character
the
name.
snow level with the stranger.
Cannibal Man.
Yeah,
Cannibal
cannibal
guy.
guy that wanted to rape Ellie. And
Is that what you want to do? I thought you just wanted to eat her.
no, they confirmed it. The intentions were there. And
That's why he wanted. He was trying to convince everyone that she's cool. So they wouldn't have to kill her.
Mm.
So if she played along, then
yeah, I think Nolan North and Ashley Johnson confirmed that the intentions were there. But yeah, that boss. I guess the boss fight itself is exactly like that. In Chart, or I keep saying Chart, but Last of Us 1, where you have to face that dude, and it's all sneaking. And it's like a maze. It's a maze, and same thing where I'm not sure. I think there was like random like glasses on the ground.
Yeah.
Or yeah, if you step on the glass, just like in the first game, she's gonna know where you're at. And yeah, it was kind of scary because once I had my sense, or I can see where she's at, and then when at times where I can't catch her, she's not in my sense. I'm fucking scared because she's hella fast, and I just had to rely on my ears. And yeah, and there's times I'm trying to outsmart her. I'm trying to throw bottles, and she went around, and I don't even know what's going on. But yeah, it was a pretty interesting fight scene. Um, I was surprised that Ellie um went toe to toe, and she um kept her dukes up. I was like expecting Abby to kick her ass. There's no chance that Ellie's gonna win, but Ellie kept using that knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, and then what do you call it? You At the end of all that, Abby kicked Ellie's ass, and then Dina came in to save, and then Abby was legit gonna slice um Dina's neck because
Yeah, I mean, Ellie fucking killed Mel, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, and yeah, Ellie was like, "Don't do it. She's pregnant," and then she was like, "Good,
Good.
yeah," because it was an eye for an eye, right? And then Lev stopped her, and
MVP.
oh, the fact that Abby listened to Lev too, I think, is another thing that shows like
how much he
that.
changed.
Yeah, or that Abby's not a killer by heart,
Hmm.
Yeah,
right? I think that's the difference between Ellie and I think Ellie's been a killer. She just like that's she was younger when she hung out with Joel and stuff. Like
Hmm.
that's all she had seen. So I think again, like killing is almost out of character for Abby, and that's why it was easy for her to be like, all right, fine,
mm-hmm.
I won't do it. This is too much. What I will say though, real fast, sorry to cut you off, but like before I forget it, people said Abby's a monster because she was gonna kill Dina even after Ellie said she was pregnant. Dude, Ellie fucking Ellie killed Mel and didn't even check. Like
Yeah,
Ellie kills
um,
with no regard for their stories.
yeah,
Actually, though,
um, but yeah, fans, you have anything on the whole fight scene slash aftermath of the
fight
fight scene?
fight scene was dope. Um, Man, because when I was watching your stream, I was like, that was the first time I saw her or saw Ellie craft and plant a bomb. I was like, wait a minute, she can do that? I never let it get to that point because I was like literally just trying to track her down. But like that shocked me. I was like, holy crap, that boss battle's like really good. That's a really good boss battle. Um, but it was that scared me because I thought um we were gonna kill Ellie like as Abby. I was like,
Yeah, I
if
had that.
this game ends like this, I don't think I'm gonna like this game. Like, I don't think I'm gonna like it because if we kill Ellie just like that, like I think it was the part in this fight scene, you're literally choking Ellie to death,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
right before she stabs Abby in the leg, I was like, oh shit, she about to just die like that. Um, and then after that, I was like, okay, no, we're not. And then and then at the end of that cutscene where she like breaks her arm, about to kill Dina, I was like, "Oh fuck, dude, that she's actually dead. Like Ellie's dead." And they leave. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, is this how the game ends? Like, and because I was like, this is so part three, we chase down Abby. Like, I'm like, okay, the ending kind of sucks. I'm like, that's actually a terrible ending. And so, but I don't know. I was like mixed feelings of that because I was like, oh, this is where the game ends. Because like right after that, it's the
Oh
farm
yeah,
and
we're
stuff.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think people would have been upset if they ended that there too. I think people would have just complained about whatever,
yeah.
but
Hmm.
to me, if they would have been upset because you traveled all that way just to lose to Abby. And we'll get to the ending of the game and what happened,
Mm-hmm.
but like the fact that like you have this attachment to Ellie no matter what, and um I don't know, you're just left to hang out there,
Hmm.
and like I don't think a third game would make sense based off that ending. So I'm glad they didn't stop there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Real fast though, like we didn't talk about this, but the flashback scenes with Joel were the most like heartbreaking things.
Yeah.
Like in the first section of the game, like even when the birthday
Oh yeah,
museum thing.
yeah,
Oh fuck no,
Dude.
dude! I was like getting emotional going through there,
yeah.
and like when you do the astronaut blast off shit, I was like,
Dude.
dude, I was getting so sad.
You put the hats on the dinosaurs?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that.
Oh,
So
tiny head.
Yeah. Yeah, tiny head.
Freaking Ellie.
um
those scenes were really sad, and like how you um progressively start to understand or realize that Ellie did have a falling out with Joel
Hmm.
because she did find out
mhm.
he was lying. Yeah, Joel's not some innocent person, man. Like, I think we talked about this a bit in the Twitch chat, but like, Joel, he did like what he did at the end of the first game was not the morally correct decision, right? Like, if we were to just view these things as black or white, like what he did, saving one person who he views as his daughter figure, who like not really his daughter though,
Mhm.
like choosing her over the potential to save lots of people,
Hmm.
probably not the like and like air
The
quotes on this, but
ethical.
like the ethical decision. So you can see why he was a bad guy to people. But I think the other part of it though is like he like lied to Ellie. Like he did that without Ellie's consent and lied to her, which I think is like I understood Ellie's frustration with him and why she was so pissed. Um, but I don't know.
Um now getting to right after you got your ass kicked from Abby, um I guess you go I forgot how many years fast forward. I think it was like
I
2
think it's
years.
just months.
Months,
Yeah, it's a
okay.
couple months, maybe a
Couple
year.
months. Um you find yourself at a farm with Dina living a peaceful life, taking care of uh
JJ,
JJ Watt, J JJ
JJ Reddick.
Reddick, yeah, like the baby, the Asian baby. Um, and it looks like, you know, a boring, peaceful life, and it's like they retired, like they are done because um Abby said, if you find me again, I'll kill you next time. And I think Ellie and Dina decide like, yeah, we're done. We don't want to go through this again. So they went Dave Chappelle mode and just went to a farm and just went off the grid. So and Tommy shows up saying Tommy already like you find out Tommy's alive. He has one eye and he has a beat up leg. And like no hesitation, like he brings up the map. He's like, they Abby's over here with that kid, and we gotta go." And Ellie sitting there thinking, um, she said she's done, but I'm pretty sure you can see from her head or from her expression, facial expression saying like she wants to do it. She has a family, and I don't know. She's really messed up in the head. She's like fighting herself in the head. Like she doesn't know what to do. But right now she has to. I think she's good with living with Dina and the Asian baby JJ, and then she wakes up and oh, actually she has a PTSD.
Hmm.
Yeah, she went crazy because she had like a little flashback or something about Joel getting beat up, and then now she can't sleep, and I'm not sure if fulfilling closure or getting closure will help PTSD? Is that something in real life where like you need to find closure to stop this PTSD? Is that
I
a
don't
thing?
know. I don't know enough about it to want to speak
Same.
on it responsibly. So
But so yeah, Ellie starts to leave and she really wants to finish this fight, like Master Chief from Halo 2. She grabs her bag and goes to Santa Barbara and yeah, that man, I'm not sure about you guys. I honestly thought the farm part, that was it. That was the end. And
Yeah.
I thought like, all right, she retired, she's done. And then part 3 be something else and we go to Santa Barbara and like, oh, we're playing as Abby now. Like, holy shit, this game is not done. And you go switch back to Ellie at Santa Barbara. She's actually here. She's fully loaded and this game is not done. I
I
think
think I don't know. I thought it was too long. The
yeah,
ending was.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was too long, and I'm like, oh my god, this is yeah. There's so many teases where I thought the game ended.
Hmm.
Like, yeah,
I think they could have ended at the Tommy scene. What I would have thought would have been cool or would have been a fair ending was like if Ellie chose not to go and then we switch over to Abby, like just a cutscene, and like maybe Abby's just like dying or some shit
uh huh.
of something, and like it shows that there would have been no point of going after her anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, I think that would have been fine. Like you still would probably want to close the loop on where Abby is, at least. Um, but yeah, I didn't think they needed to have Ellie go for Abby. And I don't know. Like I will ask you guys, like after all that what happened in the game, did you want to go after Abby?
No, I felt like Ellie. She was beat up. She already has a family with Dina, and I don't know. I think if I was Ellie, I'd probably accept the loss. Like you found Abby, and I think it's time to retire. I don't know.
I think at first I didn't. I was like, you know what? Okay, if we're just on this farm, whatever, end it here. Just like, but once they showed that like PTSD moment, I was like, oh shit, like can't end it there. Like I think she had to go. Like she literally said she had to go, and it's also because I feel like that's all she knows now at that point is just killing. Like she's a killer. Like she'll only be her true self if she's like
If she
in
fulfills
that
her goal.
her goal or just in that mode, that killer mode.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think that farm life is her,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
kind of sucks for Dina.
Yep.
But that's Ellie. Like she's supposed to be out there, which is why she left the house to do whatever the fuck she's about to do. Which is what I like because I'm like, dude, the third game could be anything. Like whatever Ellie chooses to do at that point, um, she's she has something. She has a motive, I think.
Um. And then once you find when you go through the whole, I don't know, these random military people. I think they're called rattlers or something.
Yeah.
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 Um.
It's like Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, that's what I thought
Yeah.
too. Um. Yeah, you go through there. You you have to go to this one round brown building, and you find Abby and Lev being crucified or something. They're on like a wood huge log thing, with a whole bunch of other dead people, and Ellie decides to cut them loose. And
You were taking so damn long to find them.
dude, I
I
was
was like,
looking.
I see the interaction button.
Oh, you saw it,
I was like, walk backwards.
dude. I was looking for a ponytail.
I know you kept going. You're like,
Yeah.
are you Abby? Are you Abby?
I was
I was
like,
like,
and then when I saw the prompt, I'm like, oh, who are you? I'm like, oh shit, your hair. Anyway, yeah, because I kept hearing some coughing. I'm like, who's coughing? Um. Anyways, yeah, and then you guys, yeah, Abby's carrying Lev. You guys walk to the beach, and there's two boats. And this man, a lot of this game. Speaking of, I said it earlier about mirrors. This game has some mirrors towards a Metal Gear, and the scene where you had the 1v1 with
yep,
Abby was definitely Snake versus Liquid in
Metal Gear
MGS4.
4.
Yeah, like I'm not. I'm trying. I still need to think really hard about this fight because one side of me feels that this fight was really misplaced. It didn't feel right. Um, but at the same time, I understand Ellie why she wants this closure to happen. Because like she could have just let them go, and she saw how Abby changed a lot. She didn't want the fight. She said, I don't want to fight you, I want to get out of here. And it looked like she went through hell. And
Obviously weak.
yeah, she's hella weak. And I thought Ellie, at that point, forgave her, I guess, for everything in a way. And then she's like, I think she just saw a quick flashback at Joel, and she's like, no, fuck that, we're doing this. I came all the way here, and had to have this fight scene. And yeah, what are you guys? I want to hear you guys about the fight scene. Like, what was that misplaced, or was that out of place, or I don't
No,
know.
I think it was perfect.
It was
I think it
perfect.
was right.
It was right.
That was
Yeah.
the right way to do it.
Mhm.
And for people who don't understand the ending, here's the thing. This is gonna like people are really mad that Ellie traveled all the way there and didn't kill Abby.
Hmm.
But I think you understand why. I think if you paid attention to the game, and the story. And again, like if you allowed yourself to feel emotions while playing, you understand why you didn't want to kill Abby. And like you have that flashback of Joel, right?
Yeah.
And you realize, I think at this point in the game, you still think that the last thing you said to Joel was, "I don't need your fucking help,"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
right? Like when he stepped in
Yeah,
for that
yeah.
that guy at the dance or whatever. Um, and I don't know, she thinks about Joel, and like I feel like she's lost herself at this point, and there's like almost no point in killing Abby anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that it was the whole like she didn't get to forgive Joel, so she wanted, like letting herself be able to forgive Abby. I think is what she wanted to do. Like she realized in that moment,
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, she never got a chance to forgive Joel for what he did.
Yeah. Um,
Jesus.
yeah, I felt the same way when yeah, when she right when she let her go, drowning her, and yeah, she saw a quick flashback of Joel, and that was a scene where she wanted to try to forgive Joel, and yeah, I had the same feeling, and at the same time where Ellie was pointing the knife to Lev's neck, um, I think people are missing the point where like if she did kill Abby and left Lev all alone with a dead Abby, the cycle continues. Lev is probably going to find revenge, maybe, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, find revenge to kill Ellie. It's in, yeah. So I think a lot of this game, the theme is forgiveness and revenge.
Yeah.
And yeah, France, do you have anything about the ending?
Yeah, that fight scene, that shit was, yeah, I was like you because I rewatched the end of that stream, and I was like, "Yo, Ellie, put the fucking knife
I
away."
know,
Like
it's not
hands,
fair.
Yeah.
like let's throw them dukes up. What the fuck? She knew even with Abby with no muscles, like she was gonna lose. I think. Um, but that was it was tough. It was tough to play uh that fight because at first I was like, oh shit, it's like Metal Gear, but then I'm literally slashing at a vulnerable, defenseless person.
She's like malnourished.
Yeah,
I was like,
Yeah.
malnourished,
she's like,
just
man, she's like a
tired.
shell of herself. Yeah, like
Yeah.
just let them go.
So I was like, dude, I'm a bully. I'm an actual monster. Ellie is she's a monster. Like, just wow. Like, so, but then, yeah, she got, I don't know, just, and getting her fingers bit off too, I was like, yikes. So, going all the way here, getting my fingers bit off. But I think it was perfect. It was a really good, like symbol or I guess metaphor for the whole theme.
Yeah.
Cause like cause you go out through the whole story playing the guitar and stuff,
Hmm.
and that literally that song Joel sang ties in everything
Yeah.
of the whole story. Cause just the lyrics, you literally can't hear her, you don't hear her sing the song fully, cause she can't finish it. It's just too tough for her,
Yeah.
and so and it's like I think she realized like at that moment she's like never followed through on anything really in her life because it's like she was supposed to, sacrifice her life to make a cure.
Yeah.
Didn't happen because Joel took that away from her. She's supposed to be, I guess, happy um with like a family and stuff because that never happened because what was her first friend who died again?
Um,
Um
Oh,
uh,
like Riley or
Riley,
something?
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That fell short. And then with Dina, she literally left her own family. So it's like she ruined that. Um, and then when she got to Abby, she like let her go. I guess that was for Joel's sake, but also in my opinion, I was like, damn, she let her go. Maybe disappointed Tommy. Oh yeah, she disappointed Tommy at first, but
yeah,
then she actually went back on that, so she went to to Abby. So by the end of the game, where she literally has 3 fingers, can't play the guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and like the lyrics, it was just like she lost herself. Like literally just losing those 2 fingers, she lost everything.
Yeah.
And I think she, in my opinion, what she's I think what she's going to do, she's gonna try and find fireflies. I think she's gonna try and fulfill what she couldn't do.
Mm.
Mm.
That's I think she's like found her, or she's just gonna try and find herself. Maybe I don't know, but it was just like really, I don't know. That's why I'm shocked that everyone's hating this game because I'm like, it's I still think number one's still better,
Yeah.
but the story, the way they tied in all these topics and themes all together is just it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just again, I think you have to allow yourself to enjoy the game. You have to allow yourself to be like emotionally vulnerable. And I mean, I think you can both agree that there are huge problems in the gaming community in the industry.
Mm,
Like it's really toxic,
yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
there are a lot of streamers who are toxic as well
Definitely. Yeah.
and come up with these opinions and feed them to people like younger folks who like
Angry
can't
Joe.
think for themselves.
Yes, Angry Joe.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I don't know if you guys watched Donkey ever, but
Oh,
his review
Donkey.
was good. He was
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, he was like, you
Uh-huh.
have to. I was worried. I was like, man, I like
Yes,
Donkey
Donkey.
sometimes.
Yeah.
I was like, what's he gonna say? But no, he said like to enjoy this game, you have to actually turn your brain on
Mm,
and like open up emotionally, which I thought was like well said. Like you have to. This game isn't a hack and slash game, and you
mhm,
get from point A to point B. Like this game is the first game I've personally played or watched someone else play that is like actually feels like an experience, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
right? Like you feel all the decisions, and like even there's a reason I'm still talking about it. Like now, I found out the ending before I watched. I didn't watch all the middle scenes, but like I found out how it ended before I watched you finish it. Wonder and
Uh
like,
huh.
um, I have still felt like I've texted friends every day about the game. Like it's something you have to talk about, and like the ending was like I felt like how would you have felt if she killed Abby there? Like that's how I'll pose this question to you.
Um, I really need to think on that. I don't know. Um.
I would have been wondering who's gonna come after me,
mhm,
right? Like if I killed Abby there, like the cycle of revenge keeps going. And I feel like I wouldn't like after we learn how like vicious and how much of a monster Ellie is, like I feel like that would have just further cemented that idea. Like if she killed Abby there,
mhm.
like and Abby's in that state, like, Abby can't even defend herself really. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
it's tough.
I'm content. I don't know what the perfect ending would have been, but I know that I'm fine with how they ended it.
Um. I think this game is the criticism for this game is just like Red Dead 2. A lot like Red Dead 2. It's something you need to have like a really good attention span to understand what's going on because people didn't like Red Dead 2 where it was slow, the storytelling was dragging, and it was a bunch of Quentin Tarantino just dialogue and talking. But you feel a lot of the characters in both games, and yeah, you definitely need to open your mind instead of just thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna kill zombies, go to the next room, zombies, next room, zombies. Like, there's more than that. Um,
Yeah, like I don't. You feel like I don't know. Like the ending makes you feel like almost like numb.
mhm.
Mhm,
Like what the fuck just happened, and like I want to know so much more. Like real fast, like comparing it to like I'm trying to think of a single player game I enjoy, like the Arkham series, right?
mhm,
Like they're kind of similar in the sense that like it's just clear out every room, get to the next area,
Yeah.
but like you don't feel an emotional connection to a lot of the characters in that game. I think that's the difference, and I think people like I'm just killing everyone. I don't feel any fucking
Because Batman
regret
has
for
no feelings.
Batman. Might, we
only
might
for
have to talk
Rachel.
about that sometime.
Rachel.
Rachel.
Rachel, where is she? Batman might be an asshole. Um, but um, no, like again, people are saying that like there's bad writing in this game, and I just can't see it. The You might not have liked the writing, but I don't think that you can look at it and be like, this is objectively bad,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like poor writing. Like it's not. I don't know. Like so. Here's what I'll say, and I think you have to be in the right. Like I said earlier, you have to. It's an emotionally challenging and like exhausting game, and you have to be ready to deal with that. Um, and for a lot of people, I think a lot of people just aren't comfortable feeling things,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think this goes back to like the toxicity of the gaming community.
Yeah.
Is like there's a lot of people who like just play some sort of character in their streaming lives, right? Like they're not themselves. They put this mask on and masquerade, and like you have to just actually think critically and feel this game, and like Donkey said, like turn your brain on, because that you're not going to get it. A lot of the criticism I see, it's like you just didn't get the game, and it's not like a thing where like you have to be a genius to understand it. I don't think you have to be that smart to get it, but it's
Mm-hmm.
just like a you have to understand that they're not making the game that you want.
Mhm.
Like I don't know the I just I'm not really shocked, but like the criticism of the game, I think there while there are some valid points, a lot of it is all based off the fact that they killed Joel, which I think is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.